All right, so good evening. So before we jump into our quiz today, I think it's just going to be a short quiz, and then we'll go to um 1 minute. So it's just going to be a short quiz. So we just have just within 5 minutes. We should just finish this quiz. So going to be 5 minutes. So I'm going to be sending the quiz to the chat. Mm, Okay, so I just posted the short quiz. Um, it happens to be the from what we started last week, yesterday rather. So please quickly take the quiz. Just 5 minutes. We are done. The knowledge check. Um, so the next 3 minutes I think should be done by 4:30 EST. We should be done. So just 5 questions. So we can start. Please, let's take the quiz. We'll just start and we'll do a knowledge check then. Right, so I think that's the end of this. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the questions and the answers. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so let's take a look at what we have on the screen. So we have your name, of course, now. So all groups deleted permanently once they are deleted. All groups are deleted once they are deleted. Is it true or false? All groups are deleted once they are deleted.
Yes.
Um, so
False.
yeah, yes, go ahead.
I say
That's
false.
false. Okay. Yeah, so all groups are not deleted permanently once they are deleted. So we have M365 group, which is not deleted immediately. So it takes 90 days for a share mailbox to be deleted once it's deleted. Is it true or
True.
false?
True.
Come again?
True.
Yeah, it's
That
false.
one is false.
False.
So it takes 30 days.
The
So
question is not 90. Okay.
yes, it's 30 days. Yeah. A
Hello?
share a
Thank you.
share mailbox need a license. Is it true or false?
Thank you, sir.
No.
False. It's false. A share maybe do not need a license, even though in some cases, if they need a license, that means it do not exist. So a share maybe can have a license, but does not need a license. Can have a license. So if the word that does a share maybe can have a license, yes, it can have a license, but does not need a license. Yes. So a framework do not need a license. So it's false. Distribution list is due to provide group permission, true or false? Distribution list is used to provide group permission, true or false? It is false because a distribution list is just to send emails to everybody. It's not a security group. So the answer is false. M365 group can be used for collaboration without teams. Is it true or false? M365 group can be used for collaboration without teams. Yes, the answer is true. M365 group is used for collaborations. It can be used as a share mailbox, for SharePoints, collaborations, and then without teams. Is there already? I think I showed you guys yesterday. Yes, that's a collaboration teams can be used without sharing without a teams. So and even the tenant you have, they didn't provide you with Teams, even though that can be added to it. Remember when we are doing, they say it's free without Teams, so it can be provided without the Teams. So that's the first this one. So we really go to. So let me quickly entertain questions based on the what I asked yesterday. In the some of the things I had. Any questions? Because I know we have so much to cover today. So if you have any challenges in creating anything, whether it is about creating a group, do you have any challenges in any of these things in while you are, creating them? So let's take a look at, what if anybody has any challenges in creating any of those, please just raise it up now. You have challenges in creating either users, providing license, um, granting permission, any of those. If you do have a problem, then before we go into it. So I want to be sure that everybody is comfortable. You can provision. There's nothing that we have done that you can't do. Um, yeah. Okay, when is somebody asks a question, when is it necessary for a share mailbox to be given a license? Yes, if you want to have a higher, space, if you're a share, if you see that, oh, this is a share mailbox and it wants to be used by other group, I mean by other user mailbox, and then the share mailbox comes with 50 gigs, which I think I showed you yesterday. And then if you now want to make it 100 gig, just license that share mailbox. Then automatically you see it 100 gig. Then it will still act as a share mailbox, but it will be licensed. But it does not need a license to exist. But rather, for it to be increased in up to 100 gig, then we do that because some organizations have, in fact, some organizations even not just only need license, some of them even request for more. Usually most times, when it's a issue of compliance, let's say they've been using it for years and just they want to keep those, which not even advisable because there's something called archive. But when we get to, for those who are going to be doing the advanced class, you get to see what we mean by archive. Archive means is that if, for instance, my share mailbox, my own mailbox, not even share mailbox now, gets full, even despite the fact they give me 100 gig. What happened is that I can archive some of them. So in other words, I can say, okay, maybe the mails that have been used for the last 3 years, 5 years should be archived. So what it means that it's not like a deleted state. It will keep them. It's not be up, it's not going to be like a fresh memory. It's going to keep them saved somewhere until anytime I want to pull it out. So basically, it will reduce when you archive a mailbox. If it's 100 gig and you archive that mailbox, we can come back to about 20 gig. So you archive about 80. So there's still space for, even if your mailbox is full. So you can imagine if you have a share mailbox and that share mailbox needs to be archived after you have licensed your mailbox. Maybe it's just for a very big company. And then you can archive them, and then it can also be increased. So there's different level. But in a general terms, it will automatically move it to 100 gig. And then from there, we'll talk. But generally, that's what it's going to look like. So, if we don't have any questions, I can maybe deep dive into what we have today, because we have a couple of things that we need to. That I hope that please do take care of this. Do it your hands-on. The reason why we ask every one of you to um create tenants is so that you can practice with it. So, you don't know it if you are not practicing it. For those who are going to be going in on the advanced, you surely do know that when you get to advanced class, you have to present about at least 5 minutes of your time. Every single person have to make presentation. So you can't escape it because we have to be sure that you actually know what you're doing. Of course, because of our time, because of our this, explore that. But when it gets to advanced, it gets deeper because you have to be able to practice it. There's nothing like, oh, you are reading. There's nothing like that. You don't really know because in between that you have issues, and then you have to say, oh, I have issues when I was trying to create this. I have issues where I kind of. That's exactly why you are here, because you have to be able to do it by yourself because you are going to do it anyway. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again. We'll quickly just run through what we have today. And just before this thing, yesterday, I think some of the assignment is to create the groups and then assign membership, create share mailboxes, practice with mailbox delegation, create resources, and then assign delegates. I hope all that has been done. So anyway, so I'm jumping into the class for today. So we have so we're going to be a little bit more interesting as we move ahead. So we have for today's class, we'll be having number of things. We'll be having number of things. So first of those, and so we have, we're going to, now, this is not compulsory. I'm going to be doing it on my own for you to see. So I'm going to create a machine, right here. I'm going to create a machine, it's majorly for advanced class, but I'm going to create a machine. The reason I'm creating a machine is because I'm going to ask one of you to, create a user account for me so that I can use to do all my demo for today. So somebody will going to give me account, create an account for me, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to create a machine and I'm going to do that. So, and then we're going to be looking at, one of the things we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at the Outlook. What is Outlook clients? And then we're going to be looking at the hybrid mail flow, inbound mail flow, outbound mail flow, email traces, and then we're going to be analyzing emails and the headers, and then we're going to be working with transport rule. At least on our own, we'll probably, do a little bit better. So let me quickly run that before the class, works today. So I'm going to create a Azure VM, which is what I refer as a virtual machines. I'm going to create it on Microsoft, probably just use a window, maybe Windows 10 or Windows 11. So for us to, then I'm going to remote to that computer, and then so it will be a brand new system, from whatever I'm going to be working. Even after the class, I'm going to deallocate it or I'm going to delete it completely. At least you can have just an idea of what we're going to be doing when we get to the advanced class. Then I'm going to be looking at different, Outlook client properties. So before now, I think I could just show this one. Now, we all know what Outlook is. I mean, if we don't even know Outlook, we are going to install it for these purposes. Now, we have Outlook. Outlook is just one of the application that we installed with your Microsoft, Office. So basically, this Outlook is something like this, just like what you have on the screen now. And then when you look at this Outlook, you will see something said under below, say connected to Microsoft Exchange. So how do I know that this Outlook is working? Is because you see it's connected to Microsoft. And if it's not connected to Microsoft Exchange, then it means it's just standing there and it's not connected. Now, maybe because of internet, or maybe because there's a wrong configuration. Very possible. Now, what does this mean? I always tell people, just simple analogy of between Outlook and Exchange. Now, if you go to the website, you say just boot up and then say, oh, I'm looking for something, and then you just go to, let's say you go to google.com. Number one, this is a website, and you will see that this is google.com, and then you see that this particular page is residing in a server. Now, why this application called google.com is the application Google is revising it, but how do you get this application to be out? By you first go to a browser. So that means I have to first as a browser, and in this case it is Chrome. But of course, you know that we can also use several server for it. Several browser for it. I can decide to use another browser, maybe Microsoft Edge. If I put google.com on it, it will still pull out information for me. So now what happened is this. Now this application is residing in a place in Google server. The same way too, if I decide to use MG projects project LLC.com, for instance. This is a website, or we can call it a web application. This website is residing somewhere, is hosted somewhere, and then it's coming out. Now, why is it coming out? I'm using the browser to get information. So the actual content is not on this browser. So the same way too, when you are using your Outlook is a client. That's why we call it Outlook client. Why? Because it's only pulling information from there. So if I decide to delete everything here on this Outlook like this and delete it, and I can recreate a new profile. Why? Because it's just pulling out information from me. So what it means is that all this information, my messages that you are seeing here, they are actually not residing on this Outlook. They are somewhere else. So they are only pulling out information that I have. And that's why we call it mailbox. The mailbox you are working with, share mailbox you are working in, they are somewhere on the server called Exchange. And that's why it's called a mailbox. But what is used to retrieve those information is Outlook. And then also, it's not only Outlook, it's not only Outlook client that you can use to connect. You can also do the same by using Outlook on the web. They call it Outlook on the web. You can see, even despite the fact that I have this, my Outlook, I can also retrieve the information, from the web. If I decide to say, oh, I want to use Outlook on the web to receive information, I'll just use outlook.office.com/mail. And then what happens? Because it's this as well called single sign-on, I'm going to have everything pull out for me. I'm going to have everything pull out for me. So the same information I have, will be similar in terms of a web. It's going to come out like a web, like a web information. And then and that's the reason why if you have a Gmail, account, or you have Yahoo account, you will see that you will sign into that account and then you can have it pull out. So this is my web version now. So it looks like almost the same thing as my Outlook client. So it's just the same thing, only that this one that you see here is installed on my desktop and I can pull information directly, right? And then, so this Outlook client is going to the server and be pulling information, and that's why I say it's connected to Microsoft Exchange. So that being said, so you can put the same information on it, and this is what we call OWA, which is Outlook on the web, meaning you can actually get to the web. If, for instance, you have a problem and then there's somebody say, oh, my Outlook is not working, guess what? You can easily tell them, oh, can you check your mails on the web? Let's see what's going on. Maybe it's an Outlook that's having a problem. Maybe it's a client that's working problem. Of course, on an advanced level, we'll be able to tell you how to repair Outlook of clients. If you're on the, how to repair Outlook, how to rebuild a new profile. I can completely remove everything on my Outlook clients and then rebuild it again. It's going to bring back all the emails that I have before, as if nothing changed. So rebuilding application, rebuilding all my this thing again. And then can even delete all my what called a PST or OST file on this system, because it's pulling those information and storing it on my system. I can delete it, and once I delete it, and then I can retrieve back all the images again, rebuild a new profile, and I'll see all my mail again, because it is residing on the Exchange. The same way too, if somebody decides to take your laptop away, and you can go on another system and say, oh, I want to check my mails, and then you say, oh, yahoo.com, and you see all your emails. Why? Because that mail is not stored on the system. Even if it is stored on the system, the original copy is on the server. And that's why we can always at any time go back and pull the information right there. I hope you understand that concept. So basically, that's what I mean by saying you have the Outlook clients, and then the connectivities, and the properties, and we're going to take a new dive a little bit of connectivities, and then the Outlook Web Access, which is the Outlook Web Access, the one you can, and of course, we can also use it other clients too. In my own, I have my Bluemail clients, which I use to support and then put my account, which I can also use. Not necessarily it has to be only Outlook client. There are other clients, that mail clients that you can use to pull the information. You can try them out. But the ones we are going to be focusing on is majorly going to be Microsoft Outlook clients, for those who are going to be. But let's really take a deep dive to the properties of this Outlook client. Just in a brief, we don't need to go deep because of our scope. If you take a look at these, like I said, this is connected, right? And then you'll see most of them under files. You see under files, you can export, you can open, you can import and export your PSTs. That's under files. Then you can under information, number of things that you can do here. You can open accounts, you can see delegate access permissions. We'll be doing more of that, more of troubleshooting when we get to advanced class. But on the temporary loop, for those who just need to have an idea of how they can actually manage, they can only go there here and make all it. Now, you can customize your automatic replies if you're out of office. For those who are using MicroLog, you want it to automatically reply somebody if you are not going to be available for a period of time, and then you customize the message. You need to just, whether it's the message within the internal organization or external organization, or you want it to be within a certain period of time, you just customize the date, the time, and then you can be able to do that. And also, just like I said, the Outlook client, you can always use Outlook client to get all your message, from here. So just by clicking that part. So here are a lot of things. Then on the options, so many things you can click on these options. Your mails, if you can decide to work on your calendar, how long you want your calendar to display. So I display my DCing and then Sunday as part of my DCing. But you can reconfigure a whole lot of things, your time zones and all manner of things that you can configure here. So the tax, language, accessibilities, advanced. You can do a whole lot of things here, just because of this class. So that is one way of this when it comes to the Outlook client and then access. In a brief, I'm going to quickly talk about just this hybrid Mayflow architecture. There's nothing to worry about. Don't be scared. I just want to really expose us a little bit. I know that when you see all this diagram, you will see that it has about 1 to 11. But we are not going to be bothered about other ones. We are going to be bothered about just 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to be bothered about 10 and 11. Now, why? Because every other thing that goes here, every other thing that goes here, or maybe talk about 9, 7. No. Because I'm not sure we already have a multi-factor authentication. Do you see? Remember that when I want to sign in just now, it prompted me authentication, and then with a code just now when I want to sign into Outlook, and then from there, and it is just what this is all about. This authentication, Microsoft authentication, is just to further show. But this is where I want us to talk about. This is just a step for an hybrid Mayflow. That is for those in advance. We are going to be treating Active Directory as part of an hybrid Mayflow. But for our own now, it's going to be majorly the cloud environment. So let's consider somebody who's trying to send an email. So this person is trying to send an email, and of course, what happened is that that's the one is trying to contact Exchange, which is an email. And then, just like I was trying to do, what does it do? It redirected me. From this, it redirected me to authenticate. So, assuming I have an hybrid environment, it will take me back to Active Directory. But in this case, we don't have the third-party identity provision with Active Directory. Everything stays on Entra ID. And then once he does that, what happens? Once he authenticates me, and that's why you see that 10. They see that 10. So the other side of this authentication is that it comes back to, if I have a conditional access policy or a condition that it has to be, this one will say, try this particular user from 1. It comes here, try to check this. He said this one would redirect and say, no, I need to verify that you are the owner of this mailbox. Then it takes me to an engine, which is Entra ID, who does the authentication. And then from that three, that what happened is that I'm going to skip away 4, 5, 6, all that. I'll come back to 7 because that 4, 5, 6 goes to the on-premises. And then I'll come over to 7. And then the 7 said, oh, verify me. Once you verify me, authenticate me, come back to 9. From now, he come back, said, okay, yes, we verified that this person resides also, especially with this conditional access, and come back to the Outlook and then give me access. And then, of course, the 11 connect me permanently, and I keep sending my email. So basically, it's just a kind of a flow. Then I'm also going to talk briefly about the inflow, the architecture inflow for what's called Exchange Online. Now we are restricting ourselves just only to Exchange Online since we don't have Exchange server on our platform. Everything is in the cloud. Now, in reality, most organizations, especially top 500 organizations, they always have an hybrid environment. Why? Because they still want to be in control of their environments. And that's why you have that hybrid. But for the sake of this, we are going to only talk about the cloud only environment. So in the cloud only environment, you see, don't bother about all this. It's just for you to just get explanation. It's not, you just see to know what is going on behind the scene, what some of the actions that is going on that you are not aware of. But it's just for me to be aware, because as an engineer, you should be aware of what's going on behind the scene, right? So there's something called Exchange Online Protection. Now, if you look at this, the Exchange Online Protection is the first stop. It's like the gateway. If you are trying to send an email to somebody, or you are trying to send email to someone, in the first place, if you are sending an email to me, for instance, that email will not come to my mailbox directly. It will first go to what we call an EOP. An EOP is called Exchange Online Protection, is the gateway to is the one guiding my mailbox to be sure that I don't get into trouble. And that's one of the reasons why we tell people to use Microsoft accounts, for their businesses, because if they don't use it, all these features are provided would not filter out those scammers, those cyber issues from their mailbox. So you can imagine about 4 levels before it gets to me, at least 4 good levels before he actually gets to me. 4 good levels before he gets to me. We have what we call exchange. Yes, 4 good levels before it gets to me. In fact, sorry, I think this is even not just 4 levels. We still have anti-spam filtering, and this, I think I didn't capture the whole capture very well. So, but apologies. I'm going to just go through all this. We have connection filter. You could see from here, the connection filter here is just talking about the connectivity from the networking perspective. So if any email is coming, this exchange will first of all verify whether this IP address from where this email is coming is actually true or not. In some cases, if you want a particular IP address to be rejected, yeah, you can reject it at this level. So you can set up that rule to reset it. Then, of course, apart from then, there's something called anti-malware filter. The filter, that's under the filter, it works as an agent to remove all the viruses and all that. Then after that is removed, then even you yourself as an admin, you can create a rules, whether you want to reject emails or you want to accept a mail. And that's why we call it Mayflow rules, or call it transport rule. And then you can block a particular mailbox from, ID from organization from sending email to a, or block permanent access. Then after that, you can also, even when that mail has been acted by active transport rule, you can also protect that mail again by having what we call advanced threat protection. This is majorly an additional service that anybody can have, in such a way. It's majorly for you have E5 license, for instance, you will have ATP. You have an advanced threat protection. If you don't have E5 license, you may not have the ATP as additional protection. So under that is part of the what that was given. Now, then after then, you something called content filtering. Now, once the mail is being sent to your mailbox, there's still going to be something that will be checking your mailbox to be sure that there are no activities going on that mailbox, to be sure that that mailbox is protected. There's some cases you can have a mailbox that have been checked by anti-malware, been checked and then made it to your mailbox. Now, when it made it to your mailbox, and the point of opening, maybe there's a script in that thing that will just run as a virus that is not tracked. What happened is that then there's something called 0 hour and auto purge. The moment the Microsoft agent discovered that, oh, there's a problem, even though this has passed different level, what happened is there's a call 0 hour. Immediately detect it, even if you are trying to open it or you have opened it for whatever reason, it will automatically remove it and keep it somewhere, quarantine it, and then ensure that the activity is not going to affect your organization. So that to that level in which Microsoft has gone to protect people's emails. And the few reason why we are using Microsoft, they don't use Yahoo, Gmails. We don't have all these layers of protection. They do have some level of protection. Don't get me wrong, because they even Yahoo still have a paid account, but they are not that sophisticated as when it comes to Microsoft. So that is on that for the emails, inbound, flow architecture. Then for the outbound mail architecture, so you are trying to send. Now that's not going to be too much of rules because you are sending. It's only going to be acted about outbound and to spams, your own internal rule, and then if there are no virus in that email. Because if there are virus in that email, the system where it's going, we also check it and say, oh, there's a virus, and what will happen? It will reduce your what's it called? Your organization reputation, because you want to be sure that any mail that is sent from your organization is protected as well. So that's not going to be again. Now we go into class work. One of the first things we are going to do is I'm going to create a virtual machine. So to do that, I'm going to just split to my own environment. So the reason why I'm using this is because I don't have another system. So if you have another system in your house and you don't want it to be conflicting with another system based on what you have signed in, like for instance, if you see me that I'm signing with my organizational email and I don't want to use, except I use Outlook I use incognito. So, and then beyond that, because I want to practice how to install the Microsoft apps, and then I really need to create a brand new system, and that's why I'm doing that. So just understand that in your own case, you can still use another system. If you have a new system, that's fine. If you don't, just use incognito. We are still going to use incognito as well. Or so that you can send whatever you want to. So I'm going to use Porter com. So because I need to create a brand new, this is Azure, this is my Azure environment. I'm going to go to, I'm going to go to, I'm going to go to virtual machines. I just needed, I have Microsoft, because we are Microsoft partner, so I have a Microsoft this thing I can use. So in your own case, it's only when you go to advanced that you can actually do all that. So I'm going to create a virtual machine, which I'm going to use. So I can create from here. You can use that. You can also use that. So, best low for this, I'm going to create a virtual machine. So with my virtual machine, I'm using Microsoft Partner subscription. So I'm using micro partial subscription. I think I created something I need to remove. Okay, so I'm going to just use MG projects. You don't need to have understanding of this. My virtual machines, I could just say demo. So in my virtual machines, I'm using the virtual machine name is demo. And then we're not going to use availability, just use no infrastructure redundancy required. I just want to keep it as minimum as possible. Security type, yeah, basic level security is what I needed. Image, what I want to do with that, my image, I want to have, I'm not installing server. I just need window 10. Yeah, so I need Windows 10. Have a license, but I'm going to use their license for now because I'm going to destroy it after this class anyway. So we have this. So, and then this is what I'm going to be paying per month. So, so we have, I'm not going to keep it up to the end month. So it's going to be just for a day anyway. So, I have, standard, it's telling me V2 8 gig memory. I mean, I can use just maybe 1 gig. Okay, let me leave it as 8 gig. I'm fine with that. Then I'm going to use my account and my password. So this is just going to be my username and my password. So let's say, so even if by the time so anybody watching this video, it's already deleted anyway. So I want me to have all right, so I'm going to use this. This is my machine called demo. My machine calls it. Well, I'll be logging in with this axagile.com. It's not, and then I'm going to allow the RDP ports to go in. You know, so I'm going to allow these ports, just only these ports, because I'm going to do RDP, and then I'll confirm the eligibility for this license. So basically, I'm going to review. I don't need to save this here. It's going to review my accounts. And then when it reviews my account, this is what it's going to be charging me per hour. It's going to be charging me this per hour. And I'm going to try to create the account. So within minutes, it's going to create me a virtual machine. The other ways to do it, so that's majorly for advanced, it's just going to be writing a simple line of commands, and it's going to create a virtual machine for me. So when it's create a virtual machine, just think of something about an organization that want to deploy thousands of computers. So, you remember they can't be doing that one by one. They're doing this by one by one, one by one. So with that said, you could create within minutes. You already created an account. You create a machine for you with Windows and everything. And you can imagine you just finished everything for me just now. So I have my deployment is in progress. So not up to 5 minutes, you have your virtual machines created with the Windows on it, and then you can sign in. So, this is so it's coming. So I can just go to the while it's being is populating. I can go to this on by my Yoso virtual machines, and then I would see my virtual machine being created. So it's still creating my virtual machines, and then it give me a public IP address which I'm going to use to connect to my, and then already enabled the RDP session to get into this my system that I created somewhere in the cloud. So I did mention that yes, it's possible for us to create all this and then have it somewhere else. So I'm going to creating, let me refresh. By now it should be done. Creating. Yes, so now it has created. Can you see such deployment succeeded? So he already created that for me. So the moment it shows that it's running now. So my system is running. So I can now decide to, if I go on this, my system is called demo. And then my IP address is this. Like I said, it will have been, I would have probably destroyed by the time. So I can connect through Azure Bastion. I can connect directly, but I'm going to use any Windows system at all. You can use any Windows system. Just say RDP. You have the remote desktop connections from any of your window in case when it comes to that. Then I already have, maybe this is what I used last. Now I'm going to copy this IP address and I'm going to use window connections. And then I'm going to connect. If I have other options that I want to use, if I needed to be logging it all the time, I could just provide my username, which I think Aksajai, right? And then I can save my credentials. So all I need to do is just to provide my password, just in case. So let me connect to this system. So now I'm connecting to this system and I'm providing my password, the one I just created now. So we have, so now I'm going into the system right now. So now you see my windows. So now I'm going to my windows. Can you all see? So now I'm logging into a new fresh windows. A new fresh windows. It's just starting off. So now that I'm in the new windows, this is the first time I'm logging into this account because I just created it about 5 minutes ago. So it's going to show me, I'm just coming to a new system and all that. So that's by the way. However, so, accept this, just like a normal window would do. But this system doesn't have an Outlook yet. Doesn't have, it's a new Windows. Can you see that? So a new Windows. So let me minimize it so that you can see. This is my Windows and it's showing me, oh, continue now. I don't have any accounts yet on this window. It's free. You can see I don't have a provision account on this system. However, I needed to provision account on this system. This is my system. If I go to CMD, no CMD is there. I can go to computer, this computer or system information anyway. I can go to system information. System information to see so within system information, I should be able to have, oh, no, that's not one. I need system information. So this has been created. So now this is my system information. It is built on this, and then the name is demo. The name of this computer is demo, and this is what we install for this system. So now we needed to this is our account, this is our email. This is our this thing. So we needed to sign in to this account because this account is brilliant. That's why I would need someone to give me an ID from his own account for me to be able to log in and save. So I'm going to use this window is supposed to come with a browser, right? And I can also install a new browser also. We're supposed to have a Microsoft Edge or any browser that actually, come with it. We have Internet Explorer that come with this account. So this is so on this MSN, I could use Google from here. Ask me to download Edge. Yeah, I could download Chrome on my system, on my new system. So this is my new system. It's asking me to, I don't need it. Microsoft is asking me to do, is to redirect me to 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 Edge. Start with just my data. But I needed just Chrome. I don't need continue without Google data. Confirm browsing and say I have this, and then I can download Chrome here. For now I can download Chrome, but this is just for us to just have the idea that yes, we now need to be able to now go to portal.office.com. This is where I will now need to download the Office 365, ask me to sign in as a brand new user of this computer and all that. So now I'm going to stop my share. I needed somebody that will volunteer for me. So Wood will create an account for me. So all you do is at the end of the class, you can delete that account. So it doesn't need to. We see you have a free access. So I need somebody who will create an account for me that I'm going to use. Just provide me with the you'll share your screen. You'll create an account for me, and then I'm going to use that account for practice. So anybody who is going to volunteer, anyone? Anyone who is going to volunteer? You want to volunteer? You say you have such a low number today. I hope everything is fine. So anyone who wants to volunteer? All right. Nobody wants to volunteer. Do you all have our accounts ready at all? We are the and anybody with an account, or should I assume that everybody now knows what to do? If you have your account created, we need to be able to practice with this. So anyone who has created his or accounts, can give me a portion of his account. You have free license that I can use. I can do that. So because we have a lot of things to look through. Yep. I'm waiting. Anyone with an account? Anyone? So you should have your account.
Which account are you talking about? The Microsoft account?
Yes, your Microsoft account, the one you have. I'm talking about the ones you created, your free account that you created. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Okay, so let me provide you with access for you to be able to share your screen. All right, so you can share your screen, or you just go to your user and create me a user from your you know. because I created the virtual machine because of you guys. So
Can you see my screen?
yes, I can see your screen now. Yeah. So you go to user.
Active users.
Yes, go to user. Now you can decide to create one account for me, or I can use one of your accounts that you have created, whichever way you want it.
Yeah, you can use any of the account I created.
Okay, so the one that you already put advice. So all I need is that you give me what you want. Don't give me your own the one that is your primary account, the one that has all the access, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just let's just use Ayo, right?
Okay.
Just open okay, I think I can just type it out. Ayo is licensed. You can copy the whole full part, just the username, and post it on the window.
Copy
So
the username, the IOIO, or
no, just the username Ayo. We are going to change the password. We are going to give me a new password for Ayo, so that I will not need to have your password, right? Because you already have your password on that.
okay.
I'm fine. So
Mm-hmm.
just click on that Ayo, right? No.
Okay.
Yeah, just click anywhere. Yes, click anywhere. Then
Okay.
go to under below that username and email. Just copy that ID. Just
Below
copy
the
that ID.
username here.
Yeah, no, there. No. The ID. Um,
Um,
just copy the ID.
this one.
Yes. Copy the ID for me. Yes, copy it and then post it on the yes, on your Zoom.
Okay. Mm,
Well, or I should just type it from here. If you are, so you can go back to your this thing. Let me just type it from there. Don't worry.
okay. All right.
Yes, just go back to your this thing. So I will type it here. Just hold on.
Mhm.
So Ayo at
SOS Laraba. Laraba.
Raba
Mhm.
dot on. Okay, so this is what I have here. Then you were going to change the password. So you say reset password. I don't want to use your password. So because you have admin access on this, so just click on reset password. Then later on you change it.
Okay.
Yeah, so just say automatically hold on. Take away automatically create yes. So provide me, just put my name, you can just say Ajayi, A, capital A. Everybody can see that one because we are going to change it back anyway. Just say 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So then reset, required to change password when you sign in. It's not needed. Just check that out. Check that out. Yes. Ajayi 1, 2, 3. So have you click on reset password? Okay, so close. Now, this is one of the things you are going to be doing because as an admin, they can say, oh, reset password, but in your own case, you don't need to check that. When it gives you a temporary password, you will send it to the user. Now, when the user is trying to sign in, the user will change the password by email herself. So in most cases, you can get a job and say, oh, if ticket comes in that you want to reset the password, please, we have a problem. Please, can you reset up? Oh, me, I lost I can't remember my password again. Something happened or I'm blocked out. Then might be required to reset the user password, give them temporary password. And then with that temporary password, then you can use that. Now, the other thing you are going to do for me for Ayo now is that I need you to give me a global access to your tenants. So you are going to go to under you can show all. I think there's a place called rows. Now, yeah, go see under rows. Go up now. Go up rows.
Yeah.
Yes, go rows. Role assignments. Yes. So now you need go to check global administrator. Again, you are going to take it out once you are done. Global administrator. Yeah, so that's global administrator. Click on that. So immediately after we finish, either you delete that account, right? Or you just change the password. So I won't be able to check into your system, or anybody who has seen this and this will not be able to get to your system. So now double click on that global administrator. Then say now under just you are the only one that has access. You said that's one global assigned. I have a reason why I need so now go to assigned. So now because you are the only one here, now add user. Then add IO there. Then I'll say give access. So now you have given access to your organization, and I'm going to be using this account to actually do the demo. Going forward. Now you've sent some emails. Hopefully you've made some changes, sent some emails back and forth. So I'm going to just use this. So let's switch back to our account now. So I'm going to you can share your screen. I'm going to share my screen. So I can go to the thanks for rescuing us. I hope people are working and they are doing their own this thing, because nobody's going to do it for you. So I'm going to share my screen. So sharing my screen now. Remember that we still have our system that we've opened. This is our let me move my okay, so this is my system, that remote system. You all remember? So this remote system is what I'm trying to work on now. So, and I needed to sign in with iOS accounts. So number one, I'm signing it as a user. And then that user now I've been given some privileges. So I'm going to sign in as a user here. So we have, so this is iOS account. And I'm going to be signing into iOS account. So you provided me the password that I need, and already said it should not prompt me. If you had used that, I say it would have prompted me to change my password here, but it's not going to prompt me to change my password. So you discovered this Solaraba. So, and then I'm going to be signing in. Oh, I already, enforce multi-factor authentication. So I have no option than to go through it and then see how I can enforce multi-factor authentication on accounts I'm not saving. So I'm going to, this is where I think I told you guys sometime before. I'm going to delete it though later on, but it's going to ask me to go through this process to enforce automatic multi-factor authentication. Remember those 7, 8, 9 that we talked about. And this is where you will be going to re-emphasize that, yes, you need to actually have that. So we have that. Then I already have my, what's it called? My authentication app ready. And work or school accounts. Ask me to scan the code, which I have done. Then I think he did that because he are giving me an admin privileges. So because it has given me admin privileges, I'll have to require to have that. It's got to enforce me. So now it has given me the 59. So I'm going to, so she has given me the privileges and additional privileges. So now it makes me to come in. So one of the first things I have is that as a user, so I can now go to, because I was trying to enter where I can actually have my outlooks and all that. That's the first part. So under my, so so I have several under my apps. I can have see all my apps are here that I can use. But even though our target is this, I can also use all this one as well. So I could just install install Office. You know, this is what I don't want to do on my own system because we already have it. So it's coming down. So while Office is being installed. So while Office is being installed, let's quickly go to let's go to our admin. Let's check iOS access Microsoft. So automatically I'm going to, I have the same app privilege that she has. So it's taking me through this. If I had, because I've signed it once, so that's what we call single access, single sign-on. Because you see me signing out on this one, automatically just going into, you know. So this is my account now, and while I'm waiting for the full connection to the account, this is my admin access privileges. So I can then begin to do other things that I need to do. So I'm going to go to Exchange. I'm going to go to Exchange. Ayo, have you in recent times sent emails between any of your users? Or is it
No,
Ayo? Sorry. Okay, no.
no.
Okay, so we're going to try something out. Because I want to, yes, I can even do it here though, but we'll probably need an additional account. But here's where I'm trying to do. Number one, my account here. Oh, sorry. I click on the different mailbox. That's why it's bringing this out for me. So my own account is Ayo, right? And you know, you could see there that I have admin privileges, and not other accounts will have that. And then you could see that you know, they think they should start downloading my own application. So let me see. Let me go to my system, my computer, this system. Downloads. So I'm going to start installing this. Oh, it's been installed. Okay, I think it's click to run. So it's installing it. So when it's done, we'll be able to see it as it's done. So it's been installed. So what it means is that after some time, we should start seeing Outlook. After some time, we start seeing Word and then all that. So let's wait for some time. So now, before then, let's quickly go to since this is still happening, let's quickly go to so I needed just okay, we have we are an exchange now. So under the exchange, now I needed if your own account can send email to me. So I'm going to go to the OA. Remember, like we talked about Outlook, right? So we have Outlook. I could actually use this Outlook .office 365 mail. So I could use this. I think so it should be able to pull the email of Ayo. Why? Because by default, I already signed in with my account here. So that's what I don't want to do on my own system. So it brings me the emails, right? So now I'm going to send emails between this system and that and your own account that you have. So let's say I'm going to be sending email. This is Ayo. What's your own email, your default email that you use for this account? Do you want to give me your default email used for your account? I can put it from here though, if you want me to. What is the email you use for? Is this one?
Yes.
This one. Okay, so I need to send email to her from this. So I'm going to use the ID. So and then because I needed to trace email, that's the idea. So I needed to trace email. So sending email to Aderonke and then test one. So, and if that is the case, and then so then I can send to Aderonke and said, oh, let me send to her. Now, so that's one scenario. I'm sending email to Aderonke. That's one scenario. Then the other scenario is going to be that I'm going to, oh, sorry. The second scenario would be that I'm going to create a share me box. And let me see if she has a lot of some share me box. Okay, I think we have one Ade one, right? This Ade one, I'm going to use Ade one. So I'm going to use Ade one. I'm going to say, oh, Ade one, I need Ayo to send from this. So I don't know whether Ayo already has access here. Ayo doesn't have access here, so I'm going to give Ayo an access to be able to. So I'm going to give Ayo access to this. Then I'm giving Ayo full access permission. I'm also going to give Ayo to be able to send on this Ade one to be able to send. So So again, I'm providing. So I'm going to use Ade1, Ade1, so Ade1 at so will now be used to send email. Now I'm on this is Exchange. I'm on my higher, which is, this is my mailbox. And then if I go check, yeah, let me see, my sent message. Yes, I sent one message. This is what I got. If you want to send mail to me, you can send mail to me. But let's just see that it's going from here to her. We can look at that traffics. And then after some time too, you see my mailbox, inbox, and all that. Then assuming I wanted to check this new email that I just sent, assuming I'm on my own Outlook, I think I showed that yesterday. You can just go from your own Outlook, just like this, the one I did yesterday, where I say from. This is my own Outlook now, not on the new desktop. You just do that and then from. It's easy to just walk through. But now that I'm here on the using old, I've not started using my own Outlook on this system. This is the system, and I could also use it. I'll go to this weird IO name and say open another mail. Then I'm going to open another mail. Then Ade1, I think it's Ade1, right? Now I'm going to open this mail because I have an inbox. I can open another mails and I say Ade1, and then I'm opening that Ade1. So when I open this Ade1, you already know that this is my own IO Outlook. But you see, I also open another mail that I can send from, which is Ade1. So with this Ade1 now, I can also send from this Ade1. Now let me send from this Ade1. So now I'm sending from this Ade1, not as my own IO. Why? Because I'd given that me privilege. But if I also, let's assume I want to open another one that I don't have privilege, what happens? I'm not going to have that access. Let's say I want to have access to another mailbox. Let's say there are several mailboxes that can show from me. So this one now, for instance, let's see what's going to happen. Salau. See what happens? Say I don't have access. So in most cases, if somebody share an error like this, definitely you don't have access. It said access denied. Can you see? Access denied. But it didn't say the same thing when I open IO, but because I have access. So now what's going to happen here is I can now say, you know what? I want to send to Salau. This is your mail. This is your one. And say test 2. So this is test 2, and then I can send. Now I am sending us. So when she sees those 2 emails, it will not be saying that I am the one sending it. It will be saying that I'm sending from Ade1 and not as IO, even though it is IO that is sending it. Does that make sense? That's what I was trying to explain. So, and that's exactly what happened here. Of course, does it mean that you can also do other ones? Yes. So I'll allow you guys to figure that out. I just want to practically show you guys what you have to do in the case like this. Now, while the other one is still populating, I'm going to quickly go to checking the mail trace of what we have just done. Because one of the things that we said we are going to do in our thing, of course, we have a role assignment. We trace emails, we trace header, and then we are going to use tools and also going to use testers. I hope I've not gone beyond the time. Oh my goodness. So I'll probably be finishing 15 minutes. So we have So this what's going to happen. We have this now. So let's go to our exchange. Let's try to trace our mails. Under our mail flow, we have message trace. Now, on the mail trace, if somebody is having a problem, oh, I send email, I can't get it, and all that. Now, this at the send. You remember when we talk about EOP and all that? This is at the send of email. This is where you trace all the mail, if it's either delivered or not. You are going to figure out here. And maybe by some reasons, let me even send. Let me go to my Outlook and try to send an email to someone within the organization, and let me try to send. Okay, let me even send email to myself. You know, we will see my email. All right, that's fine. Because I want to test, you know, use that to say, use this email. Yeah, that's fine. Test 3. So I'm going to use that scenario. Then I'm also going to send email, and another email, which is going to be, you know, just as maybe I made a mistake of sending email to somebody. Then, oh, I didn't send email. What happened? Why didn't I send, let's say, I'm going to change something. Oh, no, that's not what I needed. I want to change. Oh, it just pick it up automatically. Okay, so let me just change. Let me pick that email that I use. I'm trying to use your. Okay, I can just use anything that is not correct. Let's just use this. Yeah, doesn't matter. Test 4. It should reject it. So that's what we are looking for. We are looking for something that will reject it, and then who can then use, you know, to query all the mails, why it was rejected and all that. So let's go to the message trace now. Now I want to trace a message, and my sender, the sender, who is the sender here? Who is the sender? Can anybody identify who is the sender here? It's Ayo is the sender, right? So Ayo is the sender. And then of course we also see Ayo 1, 2 is also a sender. So Ayo is a sender. And then I could say, you know what, just any recipient that I have that Ayo has sent to. So I'm going to leave this one blank. And I'm going to say, you know what, send to any recipient. And then just give me an idea. Now, this case, this part, in the case when you are trying to get a mail that is beyond this period, usually it will give you like about 2 days in between, which is 31st to on the 2nd. That's the normal thing, but you can expand it and say, oh, give me maybe about 10 days ago or 5 days ago or whatever ago. In that case, in some cases, to ask you to report and it will include your email so that you can send the results of the sample of that thing. So let's do a search. So when we do a search, going to edit. Okay, you can see up to 10. Oh, that's good. Up to 10, 90 days of historical search. Interesting. So we have senders as this, and then all recipients. Let me push star here. Okay, fail the argument. No problem. And put all stars expected that it should give me oh, I don't need this one anymore. It's still there. Okay, I'm going to research again. New search. So we have a new search. Sender. Oh. So I will search for the listing if I couldn't get that, what I'm looking for. Let's use recipients. What's the name? What's the ID just now? We have we sent to her. So all messages from the sender, you're going to just that is sent to that account. Let's see. Okay, let me use my this is okay. Let me just I need to be sure that I am on the same. We have my own accounts. This is your own account. My own account. Okay. I guess it's taking some time because we are just opening up Exchange. I think it's taking some time because naturally it should be able to just make a search. That's what the only explanation here. It's taking some time to set up. Okay, so I have another way. Oh, messaging is not available and it's turned on by default. Okay, so I'm going to go and do it somewhere else that I also know. Even though this is just out of the let me go and do it somewhere else. I'm going to go and do it to be sure under security. So they are probably just, trying to come up. We have under email, I'm going to do Explorer. That will give me an overview. Okay, so the sender address, Okay, dismiss. Yeah. So the did send. Okay, so I would leave it now. I guess we're going to come back to requery this for what it was. Because from what I'm seeing here, it's coming up now. Yes, it's come up now. So we could see some of the mails. So I know this is more of a security, and this is, so we could see here delivered. If you open it, it will show. This is more complex part, which is I just decided to just take us to the security part because it's majorly for advanced class. But we could see this message definitely did not deliver for some reasons. We'll figure that out. Even though it looks as if it is sent, but we'll see. It did not deliver, but we'll look at that later on. But we will see number of them that are got delivered, some of these things. But in most time, before you come and use it, because most time you may not have access to this part. It's majorly for security. We are going to talk about that next week. A little bit of the security part next week. But whatever you're doing here, you should be able to do on the message trace and side. So for some reasons, if it's not populating, it's either that either maybe Microsoft makes some changes or whatever it is. So we have sender. I'm going to use sender again, and then I'm going to do a trace. Maybe it's now should be populating. It's not populating here. So let's give it some time. Let's give it some time, then it should be able to populate. But I'm going to now what I was expecting to see here is a couple of things. I'm going to use some of my my accounts, my own account to do a trace for you. But you can go ahead and do a trace with this. However, I'm going to quickly go to what's that again? The one on the Explorer. So let's take a look at this email that are sent. We have the sender, and then we have the recipient. So the mail was sent to this. Oh, this is Q. Is it Gmail? Yeah, the mail was sent. Okay, to Gmail send. Do I have something like that on my own end? Do I have an email sent to me? We'll figure that out later on. So we have let's take a look at this test one. We have view header, which we are going to use now. So it's sent to this person, inter-organizations, use header, return parts. Yes. So and then we could view the header, see what is actually then we could use Microsoft Analyzer tools. I think I put it there. Now I can copy the header of this to know how far this message has traveled. Now, this is one of the things you are going to be checking. In my notes, I already put it there that at some point you'll be doing tracing. And that's what I put there. Yes, connectivity analyzer, MX Toolbox, to actually analyze the header of the mail. So I'm going to copy the header of this message. And then I'm going to, Microsoft has something called connectivity analyzer. You can also use MX Toolbox. I'm going to use MX Toolbox.com is something you can use. We're going to use two of them. And then the second one, we're going to use Microsoft Connectivity Analyzer. So this one is from Microsoft. So you want to see, you can just connect to Microsoft. So two of them, they will give you the same result in a different fashion. Now, why this one is used for several complex scenarios, because they are all for Microsoft tools. This also would also use for micro, but it's majorly for DNS, DKIMs, and all that. These are going for advanced class anyway. Now, this header here is what we need. We want to see how far this message travels. So you should be able to analyze this message. You could see some of these things that we're going to do when we come to security. We could be able to see how this message travels. It's traveling from the EOP and accounts with MAPI. So I'll use through over the internet, and then it comes over here to the same server within Microsoft and come in and then got delivered. And then we have several reports that you can see here. So if you are using from to, so you could see a whole lot of analysis here. For those who are going to be doing our class, will do more and understand this much better. Then for the Microsoft Analyzer, so what we need to just do, analyze using my message analyzer. It's going to give you almost the same thing, which you are going to use. So let's put this header too as well. So with this header, you will see delay in between in 2 seconds before the message delivered and all that. You will see all those analysis as how that. Now, in case if it's coming from one end to other, you can also trace a whole lot of things. The spam confidence level, they all have their meanings, which you are going to work on. So, which you are going to work on. So just for you to see all this anyway, just have an idea of what we are talking about. So the last part I'm going to talk about is going to be your rules. I'm going to give you time to run through all your tests. I just needed to be able to make sure, number one, we have a system that we can do that. For the time is fast spent. I think we started around 4 my time, so I don't want to take us to, too much of, this one has not installed since. I'm going to, I expect that by now it should have finished installing. Anyway, wait for this thing is being installed. It's taking a longer time. Anyway, in your own case, you all know how we installed it, and then I've shown you from my end. So I'm going to be destroying this system. You can either remove me from your this thing, because as soon as we're done, I'm going to destroy the system. I don't want Microsoft to be charging me, even though the account is given for me from Microsoft for free. But still, I need to conserve it. So basically, just for the demo, so the whole account will be destroyed. So you should have your own. Try to understand the way it works. So that's the essence of all this. You should know how to use my text connectivity tools. You need how to use this. And then the last part that probably just to talk about is going to be your rules. We'll give this one some time for you to work. Obviously, there's a delay in the way there is response, because we've figured it out that at least I was able to use another tools, another same Explorer also, which also give us the same thing. This is a more complex. That's why under security, you have more complex scenario, and then from there. But it's still going to work. Just keep to it. Wait for some time after you've been using it, you'll see all those results coming out. So as far as that is concerned, so I needed to. So I needed to. So the other one I always could talk about is the what's it called? Under Exchange is the rules, with the rules, you can create a rule and say, several rules are here, name the rule, give the condition of the rule. Okay, I want this rule. Any sender or any sender from either this person, maybe the person ID. Let's say we want to block someone. So, and I want to block on this, I want to block, and the person is not even here. Let's say I want to block this from sending email to this organization. Don't worry, I'm going to unblock it. So, so this sender is coming, and I say block. This is a transport rule that you're trying to create inside the organization. So you could have a lot of, then what is going to happen? If this person trying to send email, this is sender, and it's coming in, what is it going to do? You want to block it? You want to redirect the message to somewhere else? Do you want to forward the approval? And all manner of things can be done here. So in my own case, it's a simple message block. And then when you block this person, tell this person that reject message and exclude information. We don't need you. Do not send message here again, right? So don't send message here again, right? Well, maybe accept, maybe, but I think I'm done. I'm okay with this. I don't just want to send, apply this, do the following. If the sender is, as long as everything is there, or maybe accept if it's sending to a particular person. Okay, there's exception to the rule. Well, if you're sending to any of this reset is VPN, then you can allow it, whichever way you want to have. So I'm going to leave it as it is. Yeah. So I'm going to leave that as it is. Just a small, when do you want the rule to start? You want to enforce it? How severe it is? Low, medium. If it's high, alert, then you should notify somebody. I'm going to leave it at low, medium. And then I'm going to comment just to block. And then we'll look at it. Then you wait for some time. It creates a rule. So if I try to send email to anybody within the organization, it's going to reject my mail, right? So that's the essence of this rule. So it gives you some time for it to save, and then we can enter. So that's transport rule has been created. So that's transport rule has been created, and then you could see. So when you get to organization, you see several rules. Don't try to, if you don't know anything about it, you have to check. Now, this rule has been created, but it's not enabled yet. So you go back again and then enable it. So if it's enabled, that's only when, and then hold on, wait for some time until this change. So once it's changed, then that rules has been enabled. So it's updating. It's going to take some time. So just wait until now the rules is enabled, and then you can actually, where's my, so it's enabled, and then you can then, so I'm just going to delete it right away. Delete the rules. In your own case, delete the rules. I don't want to be blocked. So let's leave it at that. So I will not say, oh, it's a problem. I'm not sending email either anyway. So anyway, so as far as this class is concerned, we are done. Please practice. That's the only way you can know what you need to know. So I'm going to disconnect this system. Expectedly. So all I need is just to. So I've seen so many things here. You can imagine a whole lot of things, and I can destroy it within just a minute. I don't need to wait for this thing again. Somebody asked a question. I think I'm then dropping off. Okay, I think. All right, no problem. So we have this now. So I'm going to stop sharing. Guys, so I'm going to stop. Looks as if we have even gone about 2 hours of the class. So please practice. I'm going to, put the notes, and then for us to, from next week, we should be start talking about, transitioning. We're just going to touch much about, touch a few bit of about SharePoint, OneDrive, and then Teams, and then a bit of security, and we are done. And then, of course, for those who are going to move into the next class, they should be ready. If you need to start working towards, starting the new class, please be ready. And then, the more you have much understanding, and the more you have opportunity to actually, because people need to really know that you actually know what you're doing. All right. Thanks so much for this class. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night rest. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.